Hi, and welcome to today's virtual field tour by FMC. My name is Brad Iwanku. I work for FMC here in Manitoba. I'm here today south of Winnipeg at Kelburn Farm to showcase a new product called Focus Herbicide. Focus Herbicide is a combination product of a group 14, carfentrazone, and a group 15, pyroxasulfone. Carfentrazone, or AIM, assists glyphosate at the burn-off timing by speeding things up. Pyroxasulfone provides residual weed control from burn-off timing, pre-plant or pre-emergence through the season. There's lots of benefits to using a product like Focus in RoundupReady corn or RoundupReady soybeans. One of those is resistance management. There's a lot of resistance to glyphosate in the US. It's been coming along in the last 10 years based on overuse of glyphosate, and they've got numerous different species down there that are resistant. We've recently discovered that kochia in Manitoba is resistant to glyphosate. So growers need to be thinking about how much they're using glyphosate, how many times they're spraying it, and when they are using it, to be adding other modes of action. Focus fits very well into that. By adding that group 14 carfentrazone to the tank, you're getting another mode of action for weeds that are existing there today. The group 15, the pyroxasulfone, that provides residual weed control on grassy and broadleaf weeds, really helps to reduce the reliance on glyphosate for in-crop applications. Growers that today are spraying 2 to 3 times glyphosate in-crop for corn or soybeans can reduce that to 1 to 2, depending on the weed spectrum or the soil type within the field. So we really see a lot of benefit from using a product like Focus for resistance management and helping to reduce our reliance on glyphosate and hopefully extend the life of that product or that mode of action on different grassy and broadleaf weeds going forward. The other benefit to using a product like Focus and providing that early season residual weed control is yield. There's been a lot of studies done over the years where they've shown 10, 15, 20% increase in yield by keeping the crop clean early, especially a crop like corn, which we have here today. Very responsive to early weed removal, keeping things clean early. That's why growers spray glyphosate on RoundupReady crops so many times, especially in RoundupReady corn. Keep it clean early, keep the crop outside of or away from those competing weeds, and you'll see yield response big time with corn especially. And so Focus, by keeping things clean early with the residual weed control, you don't have to come in and spray as many times. Can be a large benefit from a yield perspective. I mean, sometimes you just can't get into the field to spray when you want to on that optimum timing. So by having that burn-off timing, focus down, residual weed control, keeping things clean, there's a lot of benefit there as well. And then time management. It's hard to get in and spray 3 times sometimes based on the weather, based on other requirements in other crops, be it a canola or a wheat crop, that you have to be spraying a post-emergent application at the proper timing. Just keeping things a little more manageable on the farm by having that focus down early on, residual weed control again, and not having to come in as many times from a time management standpoint. There's a lot of benefit there. So we set this demo up in 2014 to showcase the benefits of using a residual product like Focus in corn. And what we did was we planted this on May 25th, so we have 8 rows of corn. We did a burn-off across the entire plot, and then we sprayed Focus, pyroxasulfone plus AIM, up the middle, and you can see here on the middle 4 rows. That was what got Focus at that time, and that was post-planting, pre-emergence. About 2 weeks later, we came in when the corn was just up 2 to 3 leaf corn, and sprayed an in-crop application of glyphosate at 1 liter per acre. And so that came across the whole front of the plot, so all the way from one side to the other across the front. And what we're hoping to show is that there's a benefit to putting that Focus down and getting that residual weed control early. What happened here was, because of the soil type, it's very high organic matter, very high clay content, we only got about 70% control of the green foxtail, red root pigweed, and yellow foxtail that was here in the field. And so originally, early on, I was a little bit disappointed in that, thinking that we weren't going to see the benefits of using a residual product like Focus. However, we did. Even that reduction of weed competition, although it wasn't 100%, was enough to really provide a response in the corn. The middle 4 rows where the Focus was sprayed when the corn was 5-6 leaf, things were much greener where the Focus was, where it was cleaner, where there was less weed competition, sorry. You had taller corn. It was probably 3 to 4 inches taller at that point in time. And then now, later on in the season, we're at 66 days after application of that pre-now, and you can see where we've sprayed over the 1 liter in crop plus the Focus. Things are green, are black here, very well controlled. We got about 90% control residually later on in the season. Over here where we didn't have the Focus, there's green foxtail in here, there's barnyard grass, there's other broadleaf weeds such as this lamb's quarters here, which are tall, and that early competition as well as the later competition, because that residual wasn't there to hold it down after the in-crop glyphosate, has really reduced the corn staging here. I'm about 6 feet tall, and this corn is just forehead height kind of thing. When we move over here into where the Focus was applied, you can see that it's quite a bit taller than me, and some of the taller ones are a foot taller than me, 10 inches to 12 inches taller than me. So quite a good response from the early weed removal. It's holding. You can see here the ground is fairly black underneath me. No yield response now from these weeds coming so late. So essentially the grower here could have got away with the Focus and burn off with glyphosate then, and then one application of glyphosate in crop, and he's got a nice clean field with healthy, robust corn that was able to access that early season nitrogen. So I hope you've enjoyed today's talk and demonstration, or virtual field tour, if you will. Again, Focus is a broad spectrum residual plus burn-off product that goes with your glyphosate at burn-off timing, providing residual weed control of numerous grassy and broadleaf weeds. Lots of benefits here. Resistance management is obviously a big one. We want to maintain the lifetime of glyphosate and really keep it for as long as we possibly can, and we need to do that. To do that, we need to include products like Focus in the rotation. Early weed removal, keeping things cleaner early, that residual weed control, allowing the corn or RoundupReady soybeans to establish itself, put roots down, not competing with the weeds that are there is extremely important for yield, maximizing yield. And the last point is time management, of course. Not having to spray that 2 to 3 times and maybe reducing that to 1 to 2 is going to be a huge benefit for growers when they're in the crop applying herbicides post-emergently to other crops like wheat or canola or sunflowers. So anyways, again, thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the demo today.